Okay, Mr. Smith, I just finished up the inspection here at your house. I did find some wind damage as we expected. There's a few different forms of it. There's some in the front here with some crease shingles. There's a crease across the top where the wind has lifted this shingle and now made it weak, and this shingle will eventually fail and break off. More proof of this is this debris up under the shingle that's been blown up under there by the wind. And this is prevalent across the roof, and on the back side there's more obvious damage back there. There's some missing and flipped over tabs that have been blown over by wind. And with the condition of this roof, as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape, all the degranulation and everything. This roof, if I tried to repair it, I would damage the shingles around these shingles here. So this roof would be considered an unrepairable roof by your insurance company. So anywhere there's damage, they would have to replace that full facing slope. So let's get a little zoomed out picture here. So like this damage here, they'd have to replace this full slope. Where's the picture? So everywhere, so this is connected to here, so they'd have to replace the full backside there. There's some wind damage shingle on the bottom over here on this side, so they'd have to replace the full right side. There's one in the front and the center. They'd have to replace the full front. The only place where I didn't find damage is right there and on the left side right here, but generally when there's only a little bit of roof left, they'll just include it all in there. And I have a few things that I could say to them to make them include that part of the roof as well, as far as like code requirements and requirements that I bring my underlayment under that section as well. But another thing I want to bring to your attention is right now over the area on the back of your house, this is a 1.5/12 pitch, and shingles aren't designed to go on anything less than a 3/12 pitch. So that seems to be the issue back here, and why you have so much the waviness that you're seeing back there and why it's so soft. That's probably rotten and decaying wood, and that's because these shingles do not repel water when they're put on a slope that's less than a 3/12 pitch. Now, the benefit of going the insurance route with this roof is I know I'm pretty sure I can get it replaced by the insurance company with all the damages that are around it. And when they pay to replace this roof, I'll bring to their attention that it's required by code that I'll put a low slope membrane here. So we'll put a flat roof membrane in this area here to keep this from happening again. Now, so this is the damages that are on your roof that's covered. You do have the wind damage up there, but if you work with me, I'll help you file this under a wind claim and a hail claim, because we actually had a hailstorm out here on 5/27 that was significant enough to cause wind and hail damage, and that kind of broadens the spectrum, allows the adjuster to, sometimes it's easier for an adjuster to approve a roof off hail than it is for wind. So I just want them to be able to consider both. So we'll give them a storm date that they can consider both on. So what this page is about damage and how sporadic it is. In your case, you have damage pretty sporadic around the roof, and with the repairability of the roof, I'm pretty confident that they would replace the entire roof, and I'll help you achieve that. Now, they do cover water damage on the inside too, especially because you have storm created openings up there. So we would be able to get all of this damage covered under your one deductible. Now, one thing we can do while we're restoring the inside of your house, it is a pretty extensive process to get all that done. We'll have to move all of your items out of the way. We do have a large enclosed trailer that we can keep your belongings in, keep them safe and out of harm's way while we're doing that. Now, the only thing that I can't get covered is if you look right here, it's pretty wavy, the roof is. It's probably because this part of the roof is soft, and it's probably decaying up under there, just like this picture is here, this rotten wood. Your insurance company is going to try to deny this to begin with. They're going to say that this is a long-term damage and they're not responsible for that. However, I'll flip the script on them and I'll say, you guys cover water damage, right? So you're going to cover the water damage insulation above the damaged drywall, right? They're saying, yeah. So what about the water damage plywood above that? And kind of put them in an area there. So like, we're claiming the damage that happened the first time it got wet, not the damage that's happened as it's got deteriorated over time. So they're going to try to deny this to begin with, but I'll try to get them to cover it. Now, this is the only thing that I have bad luck with them covering. Sometimes it goes 50-50. Sometimes I can get them to cover it, sometimes I can't. So I always bring it to my customers' attention to begin with that if I can't get them to cover this, I will need to charge you $50 a sheet. And I do cover the first 2 sheets that I find. Now, I'm also ultra conservative about how I address this as well. So as you can see, this is half a piece of plywood here. What I did do is I cut out the piece of rot and I'll replace that with whatever's necessary. So if I can do it with half a piece, I will. For example, in this lady's case, she had 11 spots of rot on her roof. She had a very old roof, and And so we were able to fix that with 6 pieces of wood. Now, we only charged her 4 because the first 2 were free. So that's your expense. When you work with me, your only expense is your deductible plus that potential of the $50 sheet for the extra wood after 2 sheets. And I will try to get the insurance company to cover that. It just kind of goes both ways a lot of times. So I want to bring that to your attention to begin with. And I do know that we're going to find some of that on your roof, especially in this low slope area. However, we'll be combating this issue when we go back to replace your roof by putting a low slope membrane here, so you won't have to worry about this rot happening again. So I don't give an estimate on the front end. I do say that I'm just going to get all this stuff taken care of appropriately. I'm going to get your insurance company to include everything. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. I'm going to show you an initial estimate from an insurance company. If you look here, they're going to pay for every single little thing. They're going to itemize it. The tearing off of the shingles, replacement of the felt, the replacing of the shingles. They pay a little bit more in this situation because it was steep, tearing off and replace. Satellite dish, a couple plumbing vents, and a dumpster. So pretty basic stuff you can see from the outside. I believe you're in the city here, so a lot of these requirements that I'm about to show you won't apply to you. I'll show you the ones that directly apply to you, but I will have to get some things added, like I'll have to re-nail the decking. I'll have to use synthetic felt. I'll have to remove and reset your drip edge. I will make sure that your insurance company covers everything that is needed for the job to be done correctly. I won't take that first settlement. I have a professional negotiation team that gets me paid for everything that I'm doing out here so that I can give you a good job and I don't have to cut corners anywhere. And the only cost that it's going to bring to you is your deductible and that potential of that wood. Also, I'm a preferred contractor with Owens Corning and a master elite contractor with GAF. So I prefer to use Owens Corning's product. And what I mean by that is this architectural shingle up there. That's what we're going to upgrade you to for no extra charge. You have this 3-tab shingle right now, and it's rated at 50 or 60 mile an hour. So that's why we're seeing wind damages from 40 and 50 mile an hour storms, because when it gets older, it's even more susceptible. But this shingle that I'm going to use is rated at 130 mile an hour. So it's not going to get damaged unless we see tornado or hurricanes, at least until it's a 20 plus years old and very, very old and decrepit. And I would say most of these roofs that I'm getting on, they're 25 plus before they start seeing wind damage from the strong storms that we have around here. And of course, when they get 20 plus and there's a real deal tornado that lands down on them, that'll damage them as well. Now, this is a free upgrade. The insurance company only pays for the 3-tab, but I bring you up to that for no extra charge. I also replace all your roof vents. I will charge your insurance company for that, but I will paint them too. They most likely won't pay for that. And that's just something I do to make them match the roof, make them last longer so they're not rusty. And I just want to go above and beyond everywhere. I do the best I can in every aspect of everything I do. I'm going to use this ice and water shield membrane around the valley areas, the penetrations, the transitions. That's where it goes from high pitch to low pitch. Anywhere there's a high water exposure area, I'm going to use this ice and water shield membrane here. And I'm also going to use this pill and stick starter strip, and it goes around the entire perimeter of the roof. And oftentimes the perimeter and the edge, like the rakes there and the eaves down there at the bottom, those are going to be the most susceptible areas of the roof to wind. So what this does is it seals to the roof completely on one side and seals to the edge of the shingle down on the edge at the bottom. It keeps the wind from ever getting up under it. You don't have any flashings on your roof, so this doesn't apply to you, and I don't think you have any gutters neither, so we won't have to worry about that. Now, this does apply to you. You do have, let's go back to the inspection here. This little spot right here, right there, let's go to the next picture. I can see the wood through that, so water is getting in right there. So I would definitely suggest that we get a tarp on there to keep water from coming in. Otherwise, your insurance company may try to deny the interior damage if you haven't mitigated the property, because your policy does require you to mitigate if there is a penetration on the roof, like so. However, I can do this for you at no charge. Only thing I'll ask is that you commit to me. If you commit to using me for the work, I'll go ahead and put a tarp up there and won't charge you anything for it. We'll charge the insurance company for it on the back end. So that's pretty much the insurance claim process. I'll show you a couple samples real quick. Right now, it looks like you either have a brown or a black roof. Let's see. So this is the more of a brown color, the weather wood. This is a GAF sample here, so master lead contractor with them. Now, I prefer to use Owens Corning shingles. This is the Owens Corning shingles here. Now, I have two different kinds that I can use with them. this is the regular duration shingle, and this is equivalent to this one over here. But this is their Duration Designer shingle. Now, typically this one costs about $50 more a square, but I have a deal with Owens Corning to get their designer shingle at no extra charge. So I give you this one at no extra charge. It doesn't cost you any more to get a designer shingle versus any other roofer in town. They charge you $50 or more than $50 a square to install this. And so I'm the only one in Mobile that has that deal with Owens Corning. Now, with both of these brands, you're going to get a 10-year warranty from the manufacturer on my work itself, saying if there's any issue with the work, they'll send me back out here to fix it. And if for some reason I was to go out of business, they would send another preferred or master elite contractor out here to fix the issue. Now, I've been in business since 2005. I'm not going anywhere, but we are preferred and master elite with these vendors so that we can eliminate the concern of your contractor offering you a big long warranty and then disappearing. That is often something that happens in this industry, sadly. Statistically speaking, contractors are only, roofing contractors most of the time only last between 1 and 2 years. So they offer you a big long 5 and 10 year warranty and it's completely useless. However, even if I was to go out of business, another master elite or preferred contractor would be able to uphold your warranty. So that's the benefit of the warranty that I offer. I think that's pretty much it, Mr. Smith, as far as I want to go over with you. If you want to move forward, I'm going to leave you my contract on your front step. I mean, I'll probably leave it under your mat there. What this contract is, this is an agreement between me and you that says that I will complete this insurance claim and I'll do everything that I get them to cover. And the only thing it's going to cost you is your deductible. It also says I can negotiate with them to get them to cover all these things. I'm going to put right here in the price line the RCV plus supplement, which means the full amount of the insurance claim, and plus whatever I can get them to agree to pay additional for what they leave out initially. Once you're ready to move forward, you can sign this up for me and put your policy number up here at the top for me too, and I'll call in your insurance claim and we'll get the ball rolling. Now, once we get the claim called in, they'll schedule for an adjuster to come out here and inspect it. Now, you want me to be out here to kind of show your adjuster everything that I've seen, make sure he sees everything and make sure everything goes your way. So I'll come out here, I'll have my ladder set up in 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes before he gets here. I'll go up there and mark the roof up for him or her. I'll have my wind and hail report ready for them, as well as eagle view measurements for them, so they don't have to pay for them if their company requires them to. So I make a friend with them before we ever even get on the roof, and I have a really, really good approval rating. So I'm gonna leave this with you. Fill out everything that's my part. The only thing you'll have to do is sign it and send a picture of it to me, and we can move forward. Thank you, Mr. Smith, and have a great one.